Thank God there is a CVS on every corner. Because I needed one, and I needed one stat. I had already been to 3, and I couldn't find what I needed. So I zip up to 14th and W, I double park, and I run in to get the largest sanitary napkin available. I like to call them overnight purple pads with wings. So I rush out, I run to the back, and I find one last pack of purple pads. Great. I think I put it under my arm, I quickly run to the counter, and the person in front is paying in pennies. 1, 2, 3. Excuse me, sir, I'm happy to pay for that for you. I don't mind, it's not a problem. He turns around, he looks at me. Oh no, baby, that's okay, I got this, but thank you though. 4, 5, 6. I'm thinking it's gonna be a crime scene. I'm gonna blow this joint. Wait, do I have cash? Quickly look, I don't have cash. 7, 8, 9. All I can think is the headlines. Local business owner arrested for stealing feminine products. This was my life. But I was really living my dream. I had quit corporate America, opened a shop named after my grandmother, Letty Gooch, on U Street in my native, beautiful Washington, D.C. city, living out my purpose, which is to help women feel good about themselves inside and out. Except I didn't feel good. See, I had struggled with painful periods all my life. But about 2 years into opening the store, I found myself in and out of the hospital every 28 days to get pain control meds and even a blood transfusion. No one knew. My customers didn't know. But not to fear, because I'm a researcher, so I'm gonna figure this out. So I decide to find the best specialist in DC who can help me with this problem. He uses a robot, he can do laparoscopic surgery. I go to him, and we decide that he's gonna use all his special tools to see what I have, which of course I had already self-diagnosed myself with fibroids and endometriosis, but he would remove it without giving me a big scar, and I could go on with my dream. I wake up, there's 3 men staring at me. My father, my fiance, and the top doc. The top doc says, well, we didn't do much. I closed you back up. You have adenomyosis, and you need a hysterectomy. So contact my secretary and schedule it whenever you're ready, and you should get a lot of relief. So I'm still under anesthesia. And my tribe, my father and my fiance, are nodding in agreement with the surgeon. And I'm thinking, why didn't I bring my mother and my sister? I'm also thinking, what is adenomyosis? And a hysterectomy. Are these men removing their balls anytime soon? Because this is not in my plans. So adenomyosis is actually similar to endometriosis. It's cells and cysts that wreak havoc in your uterine muscle and your uterine lining. Now back to this hysterectomy. Women, and especially Black women, have a complex history in America with our uteruses. We are given hysterectomies 2 times more than other women. And a lot of times we're not giving any other options. And historically, it was done without consent. This is not going to be my plight. So I continue with my natural resources. I'm going to cure myself. Google is my friend. So I carry on with all natural things. I change my diet. I try acupuncture. I try yoga. I even try to reduce my estrogen by not using dryer sheets. Some of this worked, but most of it didn't. Some of this worked, but most of this didn't. What I really loved to do as part of owning the shop was to go buying, to buy really beautiful clothes and beautiful garments for the store. And that often landed me in Vegas about 2 times a year, and I really liked to go there by myself. So this time I'm on this buying trip by myself, ready to get all these beautiful clothes, but I can't leave the room because I got my cycle. This was the worst cycle I have ever had. I had excruciating pain, really heavy bleeding. I probably should have went to the hospital, but I really didn't want to go to the hospital. And all I kept thinking is, if I survive this, I probably need to go back to the doctor. But to go back to the doctor, I think I need a therapist. So I found a therapist, and after many sessions and homework of me calling the doctor, and I didn't do it, she finally convinces me to call the doctor in her office right now. I'm like, really? Okay. So I called the doctor, who actually was familiar with my case, and she was super compassionate, and she knew that I was going to try everything in lieu of this hysterectomy. So she obliged me. Finally, with Dr. Google, I'm like, oh shoot, I can just get an IUD. Duh, why didn't I think of this earlier? If I get an IUD, that's gonna stop my cycle, which is gonna stop my period, which is gonna stop my pain and my heavy bleeding, and I can save my uterus. Perfect. She agrees. I'm in her office, screaming to the top of my lungs, trying to get this uterus-saving procedure done. And she stops and she says, Theresa, do you really want to do this? Absolutely. I am committed to this cause. She's like, well, you're going to have to stop screaming because you're scaring my patients. Okay. So I stop screaming and I get this IUD. About 2 weeks in, everything is going great. I am feeling good. I'm in the shop. I'm selling dresses. I'm amongst my community. I'm even out dancing on U Street. Dancing on the dance floor, living my life. Life is golden. So I excuse myself to go to the bathroom. And I look in the toilet and I'm like, well, what is that? After further inspection, I think that's my IUD. I know in this moment that when I flush, I am flushing all my hopes and dreams to save my uterus down the toilet. I was tired. I was exhausted. I had tried all options. I knew I needed a hysterectomy. I am a statistic. I had a hysterectomy. But what if chasing purple pads wasn't normal? What if having our God-given parts removed to save myself from adenomyosis wasn't normal? What if medical sterilization was not the cure for reproductive organs for women? What if we had a real cure? Thank you.